Coming up, a new season is underway. It's the postseason, and we've got highlights from round one playoff action. Also, looking for a place to practice hasn't kept the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears from taking care of business come game time. And more guests in the house tonight. We're talking to the SBC champions from Fort Worth Country Day.
This is the Chevy High School Sports Special, sponsored by your North Texas Chevy dealers. Chevy drives Texas.
Playoff time is here. This weekend's Bi-District games kicking off the first of 6 big weeks of postseason play. Hello again, everyone. I'm Joe Trahan. Every team earning a playoff spot, getting itself within 6 steps of a state championship. But that sounds a lot easier than it actually is. Each step of the postseason, a chance to win and move on, or lose and go home. Unbeaten South Lake Carroll hosting Coppell Saturday afternoon in Class 6A Division I. Carroll already up 7-zip in the first quarter when Dragons quarterback Will Bowers throws to John Monero, 19 yards for the touchdown. That made it 14-zip. Still in the first quarter, TJ McDaniel on the carry for Carroll. Watch as he gets to the outside, gets to the sideline, then he'll hurdle into the end zone. Dragons led 21-zip by the end of one quarter. Big day for the Dragons, especially McDaniel, who scores 5 total touchdowns while compiling more than 300 yards of offense in a 54-10 Carroll win. The Dragons move on to play DeSoto in round 2. More 6A Division I action. Duncanville hosting South Grand Prairie in their Bi-District game. Second quarter here, tied at 7. South Grand Prairie quarterback Drake Logan hits Titus Jackson. Nice hook up there, 54 yards for the touchdown. Warriors up 14-7. Back come the Panthers, led by 4-star prospect, that is, Jaquindon Jackson. The quarterback finds a gap. He's gone. 48 yards for that score. We're tied at 14. Next drive for Duncanville. That is, running back Javon Fountain gets loose. The 23-yard touchdown run gives Duncanville the lead for good. Panthers win 30-14. They remain undefeated and advance to the area round to face the winner of our next game. 8-2 Keller versus 8-2 Louisville at the C.H. Collins Athletic Complex in Denton. First quarter, Keller's Matt DeWitt dives in for the first touchdown of the evening. The Indians up 7-0. Second quarter, Justin White throws this 9-yard touchdown to Damon Smith. Keller led 13-0 at halftime. Third quarter, though, Louisville's A.J. Newsom tosses the 16-yard touchdown pass to Ben McAfee. That put the Fighting Farmers on the scoreboard, and they come back to win it in triple overtime, 33-27, the final. 6A Division II now. It's 10-0 Arlington hosting 4-6 Weatherford Friday night. First quarter, Arlington quarterback Jahari Rogers throwing to a wide-open Chris Sims for a 43-yard TD. That made it 7-zip Colts. On Weatherford's ensuing drive, Ken Seal's pass ends up in the arms of Arlington's Caleb Tobias, and he knows what to do with it. He returns it 56 yards for the touchdown. It's a 14-zip Colts lead and a turnover belt for Mr. Tobias. Well earned. Still in the first quarter, Arlington scoring again. Rogers 7 yards to trade Cleveland, and it's 21-zip Colts. Remember that? Well, keep that in mind. 21-3 in the second quarter. Rogers to Cleveland again. 7 yards again. 28-3 by halftime. Arlington wins at 49-16. They'll play Amarillo Tascosa in the area round. Class 5A's number 1 ranked team, the Aledo Bearcats, opening the playoffs by hosting Seagoville. First quarter, Aledo's first drive ends with junior running back Jace McClellan on the carry. The OU commit scores from 13 yards out, 7-zip Bearcats. Aledo leads 14-zip to start the second quarter. Then quarterback Jake Bishop fakes to McClellan, scrambles and finds Hampton Fay at the goal line for another Bearcats touchdown and a 21-zip lead. Bishop throws 3 TD passes in the first half, all to Hampton Fay, including this 69-yarder. And just as Fay does right there, Aledo cruises to a 48-13 Bi-District win over Seagoville. 9-1 Birdville taking on 5-5 Boswell Thursday. Birdville trailing by 8 at the half, but in the third quarter, the Hawks trimmed the deficit when Ladarius Mixon carries in from the 3-yard line. Now they missed the extra point, but they're back within 2 at 21-19. Birdville goes in front early in the fourth quarter on Ethan Valentine's 34-yard field goal, plenty of distance, and it's 22-21 Hawks at that point. Birdville stretches its lead on its next drive. Quarterback Stone Earl throws to Brenton Northey, 26 yards. Great catch, 29-21. Boswell returned a blocked field goal to make it 29-27, but Birdville's defense that gave up just 28 yards in the second half stops the Pioneers' two-point conversion attempt that would have tied the game. So Birdville holds on and holds off Boswell for a two-point win. The South Oak Cliff Golden Bears won their Bi-District game against Everman Friday. Sox still undefeated on the season, and it's been quite a ride for them, literally. The Golden Bears, the subject of tonight's Texas Scottish Rite for Children Hospital Spotlight.
Well past nightfall, the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears football team finally heads to practice.
The more we work, the more it's going to pay out.
They pay much more than lip service to their team motto.
All in.
All in.
All in.
Their circumstance makes coaches, players, and even the student trainers walk the walk.
Really just keeping an open mind, a clear mind, and a focused mind.
South Oak Cliff High School is undergoing a much-needed multi-million-dollar renovation. The entire campus closed until next year, and that includes this practice field where the Bears would normally work out. That means bus rides every day from their alternate campus to any of a number of practice sites. And on rainy or cold nights like this one, coaches scramble to find an indoor facility. At 3:30 today, you still weren't sure where you were going to work out, were you?
Yeah, we didn't know.
In this makeshift season, the Golden Bears have far exceeded making do, though. In fact, all they've done is win, notching a perfect 9-0 regular season.
A lot of paying attention and just executing what our coaches tell us to do.
The resiliency and adaptability they've shown will serve them well now and moving forward, making all those bus rides well worth it.
And it's kind of what these kids do, growing up their whole life. It's not about what you have or also where you come from, but you can still achieve and go as far as you want to as long as you put something to it.
Amen. There's no doubt.
South Oak Cliff moving on to round 2 of the playoffs. They'll face Frisco this Friday at the Star there in Frisco. And of course, we'll have more football highlights still to come. And when we come back, we'll recap Saturday's UIL Volleyball Championships. Plus, the SPC champions from Fort Worth Country Day are standing by to talk to us next. Keep it here, folks. It's the Chevy High School Sports Special. Welcome back to the Chevy High School Sports Special. It was Championship Saturday in Garland yesterday for UIL Volleyball, and a very good day for some of the DFW area teams. At the 6A level, it's Flower Mound taking on Fort Bend Ridgepoint. Ridgepoint would win the first set. We're tied in the second. Abby Butler gets the kill for Flower Mound, and they would go on to win the set, so we're tied at 1 set apiece. And this is set point for Flower Mound in the third. Ridgepoint on the attack, but Emily Merrick and Haley Hutchings combine for the block. Flower Mound leads 2-1. And let's go to match point. It's going to be Butler with the block. Flower Mound gets the win. So they take home the 6A state title, taking the match 3-1. 5A state championship features Kingwood Park and the Lovejoy Lady Leopards. Things looking good for Lovejoy in the first set. Madison Waters has the team up 7 with this kill. But Kingwood Park would rally and win the first set. Take it to the second set now. Lovejoy trying to rally, but Erica Williams gets it done for Kingwood Park, and they will go up 2-0. Meanwhile, third set, more the same. Kingwood Park is going to take down Lovejoy 3-0, and they win the state title. 4A state volleyball championships, Decatur Lady Eagles taking on Meadville. Lady Eagles up big in the first set. Coda Hartman is going to do the damage on this one, gets the kill, and Decatur would take the first set 25-12. We're tied at a set apiece. Decatur trying to go up 2-1. Satasha Koslecki with the great placement on the hit, and the Lady Eagles are a set away from a title. Match point for Decatur, and this time it's Gentry Lamaran putting the finishing touches on the W. Decatur wins it 3-1. In 3A, it's Callisburg and Boyd meeting up for the state championship. Boyd gets off to a good start. It's Macy Boucher with the kill. Boyd would go on to take the set and go up 1-0. Callisburg would even it up at a set apiece, and check out Macy Satterwhite. She takes care of business, and Callisburg goes up 2-1. Then in the fourth set, it's going to be Skylar Allen with a kill of her own. Gallentsburg goes on to win the state championship 3-1, the final there. After starting the season with 4 straight losses, the Fort Worth Country Day Falcons turned things around in a big way on the football field. They ended up winning their last 7 games of the season, including the Southwest Preparatory Conference 3A championship game last Saturday against the Woodlands John Cooper School. And tonight, we've got the newly crowned SPC champs here in studio. Brian Farda is their first-year head coach. Guys, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
All right, Coach Farda, let me start with you. Obviously, your guys have that championship DNA, but I'm curious, how would you characterize this year's bunch of Falcons?
I think probably the best way to characterize them would be a no-quit attitude. We knew it was going to be difficult for us to force a lot of lessons from over a couple of seasons into a few short weeks to get this thing turned around in one season. And they were able to do that, even with the 0-4 head start at the beginning of the year. They never lost faith. They believed in our idea. They believed in our ambition to turn it around in year 1, and we were able to get that done.
That belief is strong and had to be strong to really turn things around from that 0-4 start. So let's delve a little bit deeper into that. All the young men you're going to meet now are seniors and captains as well. First up is Drew Chilcote. He played DB, receiver, kicker, punter, all-around great player, apparently. And Drew, let's start with the message from Coach after that 0-4 start. How did he present it to you guys, and how did you receive the message at that point?
Well, so after our first 4 games, we knew the teams we've been playing were really tough games. They were the 4 best teams we probably played all season, but Coach said after we lost to John Cooper the 4th loss, that we were going to meet him again in the championship. He said it right after the game. We're going to rematch in the championship, so we needed to be ready. We needed to keep playing hard.
How tough was it, Drew, at that point to try and keep that belief going when you go through those 4 tough losses to start the season?
Well, I mean, with all the support we were getting from our coaches and with our teammates, we had come together really well over the summer, and in the preseason we were ready for it. It wasn't too hard for us. We knew it was coming.
Up next, we want to meet Nick Gould. He's a linebacker and tight end. And Nick, I'm curious, in terms of the way you guys approached those final 7 games of the year, how did you go about it knowing that you wanted to try and win out?
Well, we treated every week like it was a must-win, which it was, I guess. But, we worked hard every day. We, like you said, we treated every week with intensity like it was championship week. Every game, we wanted to make a statement. People that doubted us, school rallied around us, great. We had a great student section all year.
Yeah, a couple of things about that. The Falcons were 2-8 last year, and they rebound and win the state championship. And after that 4th loss, Nick was also elevated to be the 3rd senior captain. And then you guys went off on that unbeaten streak. So good job there, Nick. And since that happened, I do want to know one other thing, because I think we see this a lot in sports, right? When teams say, we got to win out, we got to do this, and we got to do that. Trying to keep that intensity up each and every week is incredibly difficult, and some would say against really human nature. But you guys were able to pull it off. How were you able to get up each and every week?
Yeah, I'll say so. Every game we treated it like a big game. So some games were obviously bigger than others. We had whether it was a homecoming game, excited for homecoming game, excited for rivalry week against TVS. Games that we got beat bad against teams last year. We wanted to get revenge. We wanted to run up the score sometimes even. But yeah, just every week I had one goal in mind, is to be to the championship.
Up next is Thomas Marlowe. He played center. And Thomas, it's such a cool story, right? You start 0-4 and then you end up winning the championship game, winning 7 in a row. The obvious question is there. Once that final whistle blew and you had won the championship, what went through your mind?
Well, once the final whistle blew, we knew that we left it all out on the field. And I mean, there was no better feeling in the world, because like we said, we come from a 2-8 season last year. And after all that, having the teams run their scores up on us and just absolutely demolish us, it was incredible, especially after being 0-4 this season. After going through all that hardships and challenges, we were finally able to come together, because we knew we were such an incredible team. And we knew that we had it in us, but to be able to see it all the way through the end and not giving up on each other, and just having that belief in each other that we all knew that we did it in the end, and it was all of our work, and it was a long time coming. So
And I'm also curious about one other thing. We talked about the family dynamic that you guys have. How do you think that played into you guys being able to accomplish this great feat?
Well, I would say that especially after the 0-4 season, or the 0-4 start, we all relied on each other. We all knew each other, and we trusted each other on the field. We trusted each other with our lives. And so it was all just coming to practice every day, morning workouts, day in, day out, no exceptions, giving it everything we have. Just that band of brothers aspect to where we know each other and we have each other's back no matter what. And so in the end, it was all of our doing, and so it was incredible.
Yeah, you guys did a great job. Yeah, band of brothers, no doubt. Coach Farda, let me close with you. You've been a part of that program for 15 years, but this is your first as head coach. So I'm curious in terms of being able to make this comeback and grab this fantastic accomplishment, what it means to you in the school.
It means a lot. You know, belief is a powerful thing in sports, especially football. And to get everybody on board for our goal to have an immediate turnaround and to actually pull it off in one short year. Using these seniors, they were not a throwaway group. It was not a starting over. It was not a rebuilding process. We were looking to win and win immediately, and to have one heartbeat in an entire community, from the parents, the students, and the players, and led by these captains. It was unbelievable, and it worked out for the best for everyone.
Yeah, that faith and belief is a powerful thing. And, yeah, you guys pulled off the unbelievable. So we salute you for that. We thank you so much for being on the show. You guys did a fantastic job tonight. Congrats so much on bringing home the hardware. And thanks so much for being on the show tonight.
Thanks for having us.
All right, we got more coverage of this week's football playoffs still to come. But first, it's time for the Verizon Photo of the Week. And remember to send us shots from your game using the hashtag VZSpirit.
Showing love to North Texas schools while providing students with unlimited opportunities. The Verizon High School Photo of the Week, submitted by you using the hashtag VZSpirit. Presented by Verizon, a proud sponsor of local high school sports.
Bi-District matchup in 5A Division II Friday. The Midlothian Panthers visiting the Red Oak Hawks. Second quarter was scoreless until Midlothian QB Tate Corbin looks to the end zone and connects with Jason McCall for the touchdown. Midlo would miss the extra point, but they led 6-0. Later in the second, Red Oak QB Zaid Aziz on the keeper avoids the defenders and takes it into the end zone for the touchdown to give the Hawks a 7-6 lead. Still in the second, Midlothian in the red zone, and Tate Corbin powers his way into the end zone for the touchdown to put the Panthers on top, and they would go for two. Nolan Samick punches it in to give the Panthers a 14-7 lead over Red Oak, and Midlothian goes on to win it 42-13. They're advancing to play Frisco Reedy in round 2. 8-2 Frisco Lone Star taking on 6-4 Mansfield Legacy in 5A Division I. Both teams sporting solid defenses. That was a slugfest early. Legacy QB Cam Clark is picked off by Lone Star's Trey Taylor. That would lead to a field goal and a 6-zip lead for the Rangers. Later in the second, some offense. Lone Star quarterback Julian Larry sees an opening, and he takes it 40 yards all the way down to the 17-yard line. That sets up Quinn Maloney, who gets it in from 9 yards out. Frisco Lone Star gets the win 41-6, and they'll play Lufkin next. Private school playoffs kicking off this weekend, too. This is Bishop Dunn hosting TCA Addison in TAPS Division I. First quarter, Andrew Armstrong on the receiving end of this pass from Simeon Evans. Armstrong goes 66 yards for the first Falcons touchdown and a 7-zip lead. The ensuing kickoff to TCA isn't fielded by the Trojans. It's a live ball, and Bishop Dunn will recover it inside the 5-yard line. That leads to another TD for the Falcons. Ryan West on the receiving end of this pass from Simeon Evans, who would go on to throw for a total of 6 touchdowns in the game, and Bishop Dunn beats TCA 45-7, the final. While the high school football playoffs get most of the attention this time of year, for the majority of schools, it's now basketball season, and there are a lot of good teams and individuals to start talking about. Many of those coming to Duncanville this Friday and Saturday for the 10th anniversary Thanksgiving Hoop Fest. And we've got the tournament director, Glenn Smith, here tonight. He's also the tournament founder. He's the driving force, the man who's made it happen. And you got to be excited this year, Glenn, because as we were talking before, this may very well be the deepest, top to bottom, talent-wise, you've ever had, right?
I think I'm probably most excited about this one because, like you said, it is the deepest that I've had from top to bottom. At any given moment, you can come watch a 10:30 a.m. game and see a kid that's ranked in the top 50 in the country, or come back at nighttime and see the #1 player in the country. So it's really, really deep, and it's going to be a really fun weekend. All
right, let's start by talking about some of the top teams and you know who we should come and watch and when they'll be playing.
Okay, we have South Garland. They play Friday afternoon at 4:30 against Silsbee, who is the defending 4A state champions. And then on Saturday at 6 o'clock, South Garland plays Vashon High School out of St. Louis. Vashon may be the most exciting team I've seen, and probably since the old Yates team when they was putting up 110 points a game. So South Garland really has their hands full. Denton Geyer plays Sunrise Christian out of Kansas, which is ranked in the top 10 in the country. Little Elm on Saturday night, they play Fresno Memorial, which has a really, really good player on their ball club. So all day Friday and Saturday is going to be really, really fun.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. There's going to be a lot of high flying, a lot of jamming, a lot of up and down the court, especially with that team out of St. Louis, from what I understand. So let's talk about some of the local kids who will get a chance to showcase themselves, not only against other teams that we'll look forward to seeing them play this year, but against some of the best competition they'll see all year, some of the best kids in the country.
Just to start off, Little Elms with R.J. Hampton. He's a top 5 ranked kid in the country. He's going to get a chance to play the #1 kid in the country, who's Jalen Green out of California. That's going to be really exciting. Sam Williamson gets his first crack at him. Sam plays for Rockwall High School. They play that same ball club on Friday night. Davion Harmon and Jalen Wilson and Denton Geyer, they get their crack at Sunrise Christian on Saturday. Sunrise Christian plays the hometown favorite Duncanville High School, who's led by Jemias Ramsey, who just transferred to Duncanville from Oak Hill Academy and who recently committed to Texas Tech. One team that's one game that I have circled that a lot of people is going to look at me crazy about is I'm really, really excited about the Duncanville girls game against Lovejoy on Saturday. Lovejoy went 38-1 last year. They returned their whole team. They are the defending 6A state champions in Georgia. So it'll be a good test for Coach Self Morgan and her Duncanville Pantherettes.
Yeah, no, Glenn's got it covered, right, top to bottom. We got great boys teams. We got these great one-on-one matchups. You got girls action. It's all great stuff. So Friday and Saturday, real quick in terms of trying to get tickets. Can you go online? How do you do it?
In order to get tickets, go online to www.thanksgivinghoopfest.com. Click on the buy tickets. We've already sold out of pre-sale tickets right now. So the regular admission is going to be in effect probably in about 5 minutes. So go ahead and get them now because it will sell out.
All right, they're going quick, and it is well worth it. I tell you what, some great basketball, great action. We appreciate you putting it on, and thanks for all the information.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
All right, great stuff, and we got more coming your way. The Team of the Week is up next, so stay with us.
Now, here's your Chevy Team of the Week, sponsored by your North Texas Chevy dealers.
Lots of big winners this week, but none bigger than a 6A state champion. At Saturday's UIL Volleyball Championships in Garland, the Flower Mound Jaguars won the 6A title match against Fort Bend Ridge Point. Flower Mound, playing in its first state volleyball tournament, lost the first set of the championship match, but they came back to win the next 3. After winning one of the toughest districts in the state, Flower Mound wins it all in Class 6A. The Jaguars are state champs, and they're also our Chevy Team of the Week. Volleyball champions have been crowned. Congratulations to Flower Mound. And all of the SPC Fall Sports trophies have been awarded, including football, where Fort Worth Country Day won Class 3A. Congratulations to them. And again, to head coach Brian Farda and his Falcons, who joined us in studio tonight. You guys did a fantastic job. Congrats again. UIL and TAPS football continues this week with second-round playoff matchups. We'll highlight those for you next Sunday night on another edition of the Chevy High School Sports Special. Until then, thanks so much for spending some time, folks. I'm Joe Trahan. Good night and have a great week.
This has been the Chevy High School Sports Special, sponsored by your North Texas Chevy dealers. Chevy drives Texas.